Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and today Apple released iPadOS 26.4 to the public. Now, this update was released alongside iOS 26.4, which I already made a video on my iPhone 14, along with macOS 26.4, watchOS 26.4, tvOS 26.4, and all the other updates. Now, the file size on here was 7.58 gigabytes, and that is on my 2020 iPad Air 4th generation. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the build number and talk about what's new. So if I go into Settings, General, and if I go under, once we give it a second to load, more details, here is the build number. It is the build number of 23E246. So that's why even people on the RC had an update, because Apple changed the build number in iPadOS 26.4. Now, the first new feature is in Safari. They have did an update to Safari. Now, this is the reason why I'm making a separate video for iPadOS. If we go onto a website here, and if we go to another website, we now have the compact tab bar in Safari. I am so happy that Apple brought this back in iPadOS 26.4 because they actually removed it in the iPadOS 26 update. So I'm actually pretty glad they brought this back in iPadOS 26.4. If I go into my app settings shortcut here, which will take us straight into Safari settings, you will see that we have standard tab bar, which makes it look like this. And we also have compact tab bar. I'm really glad that Apple finally brought that back in iPadOS 26.4. Now, the next feature is if we go into iMessage. So within iMessage, and this is a screenshot since the iPad iMessage won't let me make the message conversation full screen, and I don't want to show my contacts. Within iMessage here, we have new emojis. We have a trombone, a ballet dancer, a treasure chest, a distorted face, a fight cloud, a Sasquatch, a landslide, and an orca. Those are new features in iPadOS 26.4. If we go into settings here and we go to our apps, we go to messages. Apple removed RCS messaging with end-to-end encryption, but I don't think RCS messaging was ever on the iPad to begin with, and I most certainly probably don't think they will put it on the iPad. Hopefully they do, is if people text off of their iPads, if they have a cellular iPad. This particular one was a cellular device, but that part unfortunately no longer works. But if I go into Apple Podcasts, I guess I had podcasts offloaded. But within Apple Podcasts, there is a new video podcast feature, but I've already shared that on the iPhone. As far as my overall performance with iPadOS 26.4, we go into Apple Music. Loading on Wi-Fi seems to work as it should. We do some scrolling in the radio section. Everything seems to work as you would expect it. A little scrolling within the search area. Everything seems to work as you would expect it. Doing some scrolling here. Scrolling in the app library seems to work as it should. So scrolling definitely is smooth on this update. No lag from what I can tell. Now, if we go into the calendar app here, wherever I have it, within calendar, as far as when we can expect the next update, well, tomorrow I would expect iOS 26.5 Beta 1. And I will be installing that beta on my iPhone 12. I will not be putting it on my iPad Air 4. And I also will not be putting it on my iPhone 14, as these are my main devices. My iPhone 12 will essentially get all of the betas. So I will be installing it on my iPhone 12 and making a What's New video of iOS 26.5 Beta 1. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that update, letting you guys know what's new in iOS 26.5. That's the update that's supposed to bring us the new Siri 2.0 integration. And hopefully we also get new Siri voices in iOS 26.5. If we do, I will test those out on the iPhone 12. It will not get the AI features, but hopefully we do get the new Siri voices. As far as anything else with this particular update, well, that's it for iPadOS 26.4. I just wanted to make a separate video for the updated Safari compact tab bar and different features like that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.